on that?
Yes, you see, it's good to be commissioning because, Babi Agana Genesis, I am telling you, sir, we are not in the we are not in a good books when it comes to the economy and the ordinary Ghanaian go through a lot. Businesses are going through a lot. People working in the private sector are going through a lot. People working for government are really going through a lot. The only people who are not feeling the pinch are the economic challenges. Are a few people who are in power and those who are just eating the crumbs beneath the power table. But any Ghanaian distance afar, Biano can really admit it indeed. Baby, I am Ghana is really at the precipice. And it is at this point that you expect the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the president of the republic, to speak in a tone that will bring everybody on board, to speak in a language that will just engender certain sense of nationalism in everybody. Sebaya, at this time, we need to come together and rescue this particular country from the precipice because baby or mine is just teetering on the brink of a possible collapse. But if we begin to have a conversation where the president, people are celebrating baby Ghana Ghana and his duty as somebody who is supposed to unify all fronts by bringing even people across the flip side, not together to build this particular country. I think that's quite unfortunate. His rhetorics and stuff, at this point, this excessive partisan politics, this partisan campaign, that is what Ghanaians want to hear. Handing over, you don't determine who you hand power to. That particular power, I have for Ghanaians to decide who will take your friends at the mantle. Because I was telling somebody that even the Rollins, who took over this particular country for almost 19 good years, Kufuor Ba or Hefa or Tifie, the last time I saw him, he was in a wheelchair. Mahamat Tinifie or Kansama Ghana for Panomufino, Melso Hefa. And Ube Sevo Tenere, you have no power, you don't determine who takes over whatever. Ghana for based on whatever situation they confront you, will choose their leader.
But aside him being a president, he's from a political party.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying there. You see, the political conversation we've had in the past. But you look at where the country is standing at the moment. You understand? That is why I'm saying that at this point in you are living in a country where the economic fortunes of the country seem to have dwindled. We live in a country where at the international front, nobody is speaking anything better about Ghana in terms of our economy. Professor Hank, even yesterday, brought in another tweet. Look at our city. Everything is going haywire. That's what I'm saying there. You need to stifle a national conversation that will help you to amend the cracks. That is the most important thing. What I say? But if at this time Ghana for suffered and say for this is the time for you to be propagating a partisan agenda who you are going to hand over power to and those things. I think such commentary as are infantile and must not be coming from the president at this time. Yes, when you meet your party, people are entitled to do those things. But you look at the environment, you look at where we are standing, the challenges we are confronted with. What are the measures government is putting in place to ensure, say, we are able to address? How do we salvage the situation? Do you see any policy? Ghanaians are really angry looking at the president to come out with something. If you go out there and what you can do is to just propagate some of this partisan stuff, I don't think anybody will be comfortable with such stuff, because I was expecting him to stifle a conversation. Some of the measures they've put in place are a bit me said the city will stabilize, because somebody who had $100,000 about from the beginning of this particular year, I know the Kofa Nema China and I said Nigeria and I said wherever. I am telling you that particular money, Ghana wouldn't win more cow, but the money has devalued almost 20% because of the city is going down. What are the measures you are putting in place? Is it about who succeeds you? Really, when you have 2 years ahead, is it what matters now? It is about the legacy you leave behind. Akuffo Addo to me born a better year. Ghanaians will look at him and vote for who he wants to take over. What I say? It is about the scorecard. It is about what you are leaving in your wake that will inform Ghanaians who to vote for. It is not about you saying it. You are living a very terrible track record. The country is sinking. Everything is going wayward. There is no aspect of this particular country's economy that seems to be working. Is it about the currency? Is it about inflation? Is it about what is it working? Unemployment. Every day we hear people screaming on the street. Youth unemployment. People whose salaries are buying the omoka. your friend is saying statutory payment just say the challenges confronting this Akuffo Addo government is insurmountable, and a hot and that's all no who say let us walk through the challenges. We are going to solve them together. But this is the time he's speaking vulgar language to Ghanaians, a language that will divide Ghanaians. Where people are asking him to, your friend is saying, only raise for cry to bring certain new energy into his team. He's telling you, say you are jobless, you have nothing to do. How can a president be talking like this? What I say? So I think that on one kasa, quite of us or kasane, quite of us or man is not even helping matters at all. And I think people who are very close to the president, this is the time they sit him down, speak to him, say, Master, some now okay, can I say for any situation I can afford and relate you. Let us come up with a pragmatic economic recovery program that will help us to come out of the situation, because now we are having a conversation with IMF as to what program we are presenting to IMF to have a discussion with them. You and I, we don't know, but this thing is supposed to be a national dialogue. People will still... we have a stakeholder engagement, people from different sectors coming up with ideas and whatever we can do to come up with a program, a comprehensive program that will solve a lot of the programs. IMF, do you hear any of these things? The president
IMF official said by Omakushia Parliament.
No. IMF official meeting Parliament and staff now. IMF negotiation didn't start here. The first thing they came here. Yes, because they just came to review the books. They will go and report to their superiors. Their superiors will have further engagement. The discussion is ongoing. But government will have a program. You present, they will discuss with you this, and what has to be done. You see, there are enormous challenges confronting us. Some of these partisan rhetorics, at your mind over the years. May say, how do we speak in a language that will bring people across across the political divide to come on board? Say, okay, enough of this NDC MPP politics. Baby, or mine Ghana is at the precipice, and the likelihood of this particular country falling into the ditch is high. So let us have a national conversation. How do we come out of the situation? Let us come out with a program. That is what Ghanaians want to see. People want to see what we can do to resolve your friends a city challenge. Yantiana yet say your friends a 40-member committee say they are in charge of the city depreciation, dollar, whatever. What happened? We paid them, we gave them money. But the city today, one city is equal to $1 is equal to what? 10 cities. Is it not a challenge? What is the government doing about it? All the measures they put in place to ensure that they will stabilize the city has gone off. Now, the rhetoric is not even working anymore. But where is he? You can't even hear him. The guy is somewhere fronting IT. He doesn't even talk about the economy anymore.
But let's give him the benefit. I'll say IT is a gateway of developing the economy.
Really? Really? And is he bringing, what is the innovation in terms of IT that he's bringing on board? Just tell me. Makacho said the economy linking the economy to the digital world is an ongoing process. It started even from Kufuor time. And you do your bit to ensure say we get to a certain stage. Time and inform me. Because the Kufuor time now what's happening, and I says I'm what's up about. It is time that has brought it, and you're not the buy. What I say, innovation. You see, the world is traveling on a journey. Maybe I say I celebrate iPhone, and as if a time will come, or the iPhone 13 chakra because of watching it. Because I bet to say what the Nokia 3310 more will be 2004. The world is on a journey. It is going. What I say. So those things, you can't do anything to upset that particular balance because it's not coming from you. But how do you leverage this technological advancement, the evolution, the technological evolution? How do you leverage it to grow your economy? That is the most significant thing. Because if technology is to help the economy to grow, and the economy is on the rigs, then what is the sense in talking about your friend is a technology? Technology, the whole impact is to help the economy to grow. But the economy, so what is the sense in propagating the economy then as for? You need to build the economy by leveraging the IT and the technological evolution, innovation, and you leverage to do whatever you are doing. But you can't seem to be fronting IT. But we are then inventing this mobile money operability platform. This thing has been in practice. Our countries have ported to it. What you have to do is just port onto it because it's a system that is running and you're not to buy it. So what is it to celebrate? You see, the kind of politics that we do here is so primitive and so medieval to the stance that people just to celebrate mediocrity and things that doesn't matter. But Nema, as you hear, celebrate is the economy. City to win affect you. These are the critical things. Inflation by affect the masses. These are some of the things you append your mind to and resolve them as a vice president. Now sometimes Oban some more can cry as a we don't show us a crown because this Ghana card and some of your he choose Ghana card over infrastructure and as for bizarre when have been also same way. But at the time our Ghanaians are on the precipice looking for certain redemption from government. Government will come and speak and just bring a message a bit more speaking in a language that will even dampen the spirit of Ghanaians. I think that is quite unpresidential. What has someone make? Baby, I just say the president must realize the economic challenges now air cost in your propaganda. And then yet certain cynics been a baby and I'm advocating for. It is something that has become clear even people from afar because me papa nyɛ adwuma wɔ SMP and I remember me nyɛ adwuma wɔ Moody's and I mean yes opposition in the your friend is saying a Fitch more a cookie figures. These rating agencies are credible international agencies or they rate almost every country across the world. So if they rate you, you can find them. The fact is that Ghana economy is on the sidelines. The economy is sinking. So what measures are you putting in place? See, because your debt to your GDP, just go and look at the figures. IMF negotiation will be by way, you know. I'm a catch as a debt, books, my fan can win about the Cocoa board, Sikam Kwamba Kahua, your GDP, no, debt to your GDP, will be a corner. About Esla, about your friend saying, get fund, and then my dear is a Kabosia Yabo Bob Bon and as a phone. Nina, Baba. Baby, I could do any other ketwa. Sir, your friend sign how do loan and as a phone, you know, sending you at Ghana. So, what I say. So, this is the real conversation. Just you can go around just trumpeting or whatever to because you see, politics now, you know. The partisan folks are not so gullible to the sense that most don't use their brains to do politics. They use emotions. And people who approach politics with emotions, it's very easy to trick them, to subdue them. Because you go there, sometimes, what I say. So if you use that particular crowd as a way of gauging your policy and how you are doing better, you will always be fooling yourself. Those who will speak the reality to you, and then I hear how you have to pay your attention to. But because I'm not sure any person on his right senses at this particular time will see someone and say the economy is doing well. Nobody. So the thing is, what can we do to salvage the situation? And that should occupy the topmost priority of the president. And that will reflect in the kind of language he uses out there. How you can bring people on board, people across the political divide, anybody, have a national conversation, have a dialogue with people. How can we take ourselves out of the situation? Because the last time I told you, no economy in the world never rely on foreign aid. Na survival. Because the IMF now do any to say IMF SAVUA, nka yanti how nka Ghana nka koye nim da. Because at the end of the day, bro, apart from telling you to be very sensible in your spending. Some of the Nyama way and Yansa those your friends and frivolous spending and so forth. They will tell you to cut them. Got 3 billion all the money is to cover who be the Bia. Bosia can overrate your man where your boy is Kaketwa. Bosia or the Abo into 3 billion a young who be that. They only tell you to ensure physical discipline. That's it. But the destiny of this particular country will continue to rest on your shoulders. What we can do internally to grow the economy. And every man Ghana seen a nice. But as we speak, what group mechanism and approach? What is the approach? What is it? Industrialization? Is it agric? What is it? If I ask you, what are we doing? The service sector is even crumbling. What is it that we are doing? The private sector is not because today government and the private sector from the local domestic market. So I know that what be active TV to expand your business. That's I buy here commercial bank. How this kind of manner? How this kind of manner? So at the end of the day, government inability to access money from the international bond markets and other places in the is in one way or the other coming to cripple local enterprises here. But like I said, for every economy to grow, the private sector is its engine. The private sector needs to be far majority of the people, government. So there's a bit in But what the Albany said, you create the enabling environment that will make private sector to take off because I'm not all the capacity and the maximum whatever to take people. But that is not what you are doing. Always this pedestrian roadside politics, and this in MPP, and this in MPP. So whenever the president sees any opportunity, just chastise and castigate all sort of unholy. It's so annoying. Maybe he doesn't realize it. And that is why I'm so much disappointed in people who have who have surrounded him. This is the time for somebody to look him in the face and tell him, say, no, Papa, baby, I want to you are just walking in the bush. Because the reality Ghanaians see, doesn't know what he sees. And who is speaking that particular thing to him? Politics, you need to be a sycophant, a bootlegger, always singing praises for people, just to get recognition. That is what we do. So the reality picture, nobody will paint it to you. The best singing praises for you. By the time I'm going China, who said no, sir, and I'm very sure when Akuffo Addo get out of power, that is where he will see, say, we're digging a bonny pan in the last. We be say, you to know what should we do? You see, and I don't know, my country will be say, nobody should ever underestimate the many enlightenment campaigner echoes on the various media platforms. And so clearly you see some growing political consciousness and then some social awakening on the part of the ordinary Ghanaian. So I see it. And sooner or later, I may say Ghana will witness a massive political revolution, a kind of mental revolution that will reset this rotten political infrastructure. And at that point, it will mark the renaissance of the new Ghana we all seek. That point, we are gradually getting there. It's a process. So people should just hasten slowly. And you take it one day near the building Rome. Enlightenment is key. Say you to know, because of orientation, it will take time to disorient them from that particular sick orientation that people on. But let me also say this. You see, let us be reasonable for once. Do you know why? Because say you can't disrespect her. I don't know what you feel now. I'm not sure that I met me about fear my baby do at them. And as we were cassette yaw. But say your mind, Juma dear shower sa. And no just on corner Nimyansa and on corner when you need Bambum a year. Your friend say, I want to so need GDA and the Nipadia showers. I say, you know, I ain't mean idea when they show and by your mind. So anything that you do, no matter reflect the wishes and aspirations and the good, general good of the majority of the people. That is what you do as a leader and as a president. So if we begin to get to a time where the actions and the inactions of a person, whether grown or not, that particular thing, disrespect to the many Ghanaians. You talk about respect. What is more disrespectful than a president taking the stage and calling his citizens jobless? What is more disrespectful than a president calling his citizens naysayers? What is more disrespectful for a president to take a center stage and who will be appointing his family people to sensitive position in this civilized era? And then I am so disrespectful.
But if his family members are qualified,
no, you don't say that, because you see, when you talk about political corruption, your friends saying, go and read about political corruption. One of them, chronism and what? Your friend is saying that family kind of stuff, because what it does is that as a president, a kilo mojo, and you will not be able to crack the whip when the time comes. It's the reason why in all civilized dispensations, people try to. I'll be in case of a man for Wusia for Mao. No. Yes, Wusia qualified, but you look at the magnitude, the rate at which they are infiltrating that particular government. And in this modern era, have you ever seen any government that the family members are infiltrating to a level of Akuffo Addo, to the extent that all sensitive position has gone to his family people, and they are not even performing, they are messing the country up. And you talk about disrespect. The last time this family and friends cabal kind of a government was the time in 2010 in Tunisia, Ben Ali, when he took over. He was a despot for 20 good years. I told you then Oganet is a crumb for. If you go to Baby and Tokwesi, Cecilia, your friend is saying Ukraine, they had a president, your friend Victor Yanukovych. He was practicing the same thing. He flee like a petty thief. So in this era, such things you entertain, because yes, you are insulting the sensibilities of a lot of people. Now, some men are president and do you know a number of Ghanaians who are older than the president? And they feel insulted by the many comments that he makes every day, by the actions and the inactions, the comment of his appointees in the many corruption going on. Can you quantify that disrespect in that particular thing? So that will be a say when you yam from more my say doma himfie doma hene be mo akonwa mo wadi me betra ha I don't criticize doma hene do I criticize otumfo because obi anjeje ne tax mo otumfo and obi anjeje ne tax yes they have their responsibilities and other stuff but I cannot just sit here and make them a topic say me discuss otumfo no because on me tax nipa yaji a tax amana the president and then appointees we have entrusted them the might of the state me say prior to 2016 Akuffo Addo was just gallivanting across this particular country as an ordinary person. When he won power, the might of the state has been committed to him. Mahama 2016 was working with the might of the state. When he lost power, Ghanaians have taken that particular thing away from him. He's sitting home. Or can't some Ghana for Panede year, Juma. What I say? That tells you the power of the people. So you don't sit anywhere and tell say, how dare you? Because the president is disrespecting majority of people who are even older than he is. So this argument, let us address the fact, is the issue we are speaking to. If you have issues with the issues and you think that we are spending propaganda, just flip the other side. Just be part of the conversation. But this argument, you will not have a conversation. If you go to the U.S. Senate and say for them, your friend is a Nancy Pelosi. But when they are having discussion, you have people in their late 20s, in the early 30s, or what here, and when they are speaking to issues. It's not about you. When you pack a bag and a baby, because it is about issues, it's about fact, it is about having a conversation that will change the course of this particular country. Because they should be able to be reason enough to put this particular country in a trajectory who say a minor grow, and then that will reflect the kind of Mpanifo. But unfortunately, we have grown now 58, we are 78, 79 that are about. Oh, can't even be some age bomana over 1,000. But look at the trajectory the country is going. And you talk about age in Obianini. My friend, you should give us a break.
Okay. Yeah, the question no ABC. I made that Kyei Innocent and say Obeka Yensa Ewaha. But Ivan Friday we Saturday.